Thank you for tuning in. I do want to warn you ahead of time, feeling a little bit under the weather, so there are some coughs and that sort of stuff. But really wanted to share this with you. It's been too long since I've done a podcast and really just want to share my airport experiences. Welcome to my journey of self discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. So I love spending time at airports. And as some of you may have noticed, I've been off of the last few days. I was in Minnesota doing some work up there. It was actually really nice. I was able to escape the hurricane, although for those interested, no issues at my house at all. But I love spending time at airports. I always get to meet interesting people, and this trip was no different. I actually had a longer stay in the airport in Minnesota than normal. I tried to get an earlier flight, but they were all canceled, so I ended up leaving at like 6:30. So I had a good solid 4 hours in the airport. Anyway, talked to some interesting people. Talked to a guy from Vancouver that was going over to, I think, Pennsylvania, but had this really cool conversation about how to save the world from being informed with the news versus infotainment, and how we need to get rid of infotainment. But alas, we did not. We were not able to solve that particular issue in the 20 to 30 minutes conversation that we had. Too bad. But the conversation that I did want to talk about on the podcast today was actually when I got to the gate, and there was a young lady sitting across from me, and she was on the standby list. So we kind of struck up a conversation. With my Delta app, I can see the whole list, and how many seats are available, how many places there are on the list, who'd already gotten seats, etc. So kind of helping her out with that. And of course, she was the very last one on the list. But I'm like, don't, that's all right. Stay positive. You'll get a seat. I believe it. Right. So anyway, so I started talking about work a little bit, and saying how, I was traveling for work, but most of the time I work from home. And she's like, "Oh, that is my dream. I want to do that, but I just don't see how." Right now she works for a large retailer, and so I'm like, well, what do you love to do? Started asking kind of some open-ended questions. And, she's a lot of interest, really likes rescuing animals and some other things. So my advice to her was really pretty simple. Is that limitations are self-imposed. There are plenty of opportunities for us to find what it is we're looking for in the world. Because she was saying, well, maybe I need to learn technology. I'm not a real technology person, but I could learn, right? And I'm like, that is definitely a path if if you have interest in that. But the real thing is keeping your mind open. And this is why the purpose and the quest and all of that, it's so important. When I have a purpose in mind, and for her, and I don't remember her name, so but for her it was like, here's what you want to do. You want to be able to work wherever there's internet, right? You want to be able to do that work remotely. Keep that goal strictly in sight. Make it a purpose, make it a goal that you're really going after, and don't stop. Because it's not going to be easy. I mean, if it were easy for everybody to just be, telecommuters and work from wherever they want to, anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, everybody would do it, right? It's not. It's not that easy. But it's not impossible either. So find what it is you love to do. How do you combine those things and keep your mind open? Because our limitations are self-imposed. We limit ourselves. The world, the universe does not limit us. There's an unlimited amount of opportunity out there. Is it going to work the first time? No. Is it going to be easy? No. But is it worth it? Yes. So, for my friend that, I don't know that you will ever see this, but I keep going after that dream. Keep finding a way to have that life that you truly want. And for you that are watching, what dream do you have? What thing do you have that you really want to do that you feel like it's impossible? Well, let me tell you, it's not impossible. The only limitations are self-imposed. And I know that you can do it. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be this year, but you can do it. Because that is truly living your life to the third power. So, until tomorrow, my friends. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real third power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the Third Power Life podcast. Until next time.